welcome to this video. I've been browsing on YouTube searching for similar videos about waiter tips and tricks and whatever, and the only ones that I can find are these. Basically how to be a good server, but it mainly deals with getting better tips, right? So that one's about getting better tips and this and that, but there's not many videos out there that deals with actually just becoming a better server. This video is just gonna help you become a better server. It's not really focused on trying to make more tips, more focused to make your life a little better. Now I'm sure you saw a lot of TV shows or movies out there where they show like an old-fashioned American diner, and then you got their waitress that's really panicking. They got customers that's asking for more coffee or being really rude, and then like at the end of the shift the waitress is just like shaking with a cigarette in her, trying to smoke it. It's like or have you seen the movie Waiting? You got that one girl server who's just like, fucking motherfucker.
The fucking train's an asshole! God damn it! I hate them! 20 minutes for 2 medium rare steaks? This is bullshit! What the hell? They need to get rid of every single one of these lousy cocksuckers. So
those are the servers that are really stressing out and they're panicking, and they've probably been doing this their entire life, but they didn't really, you know, learn how to really budget their time or multitask or things like that. So that's what this video is here for. This is beginner's guide to serving or whatever. History about myself: I've been in the customer service industry for more than 12 years. I started at Cold Stone Creamery, been there for like 10 years, and then I moved on to actual restaurant. And I've been serving a restaurant for about a year now, or more than 2 years actually. Number one, now most people, they want to become a server because they know that it makes a lot of money, especially in tips. But that's not the case for every restaurant. So you gotta know that not every restaurant is the same. Don't expect to get boatloads of cash at the end of the shift from every restaurant. Okay, I've been to one restaurant, you get service charge, but you only get like a small percentage of it, and then it's distributed amongst everybody. So the service charge that you actually make on your bill and your table doesn't all go to you. They kind of counterbalance it with the minimum wage. Some restaurants, they make their minimum wage lower. So let's say minimum wage right now is like $10, right? Some restaurants, I think the laws changed now, but before, some restaurants would make it like, say, $6 an hour, but they offset it with a higher service charge. You get a bigger percentage of the total service charge. So you got to understand that not every restaurant's like that. Currently, right now, I'm at a good restaurant where we actually get paid out our service charge. A percentage is taken out, which is distributed among like bussers, hostesses, and whatever in the back of the house, but a large chunk of your service charge goes to you. So what you need to do, or not need, but what you want to do, is find out whatever restaurant you want to go to, try to find out what their service charge policy is. It's going to make your life a lot more let's say invigorating, or you're going to be more inspired to work more if you're going to a restaurant that sees you getting cash at the end of the shift every day. Not all restaurants are like that. Sometimes they pay you out bi-weekly or every week or whatever, like something like that. One restaurant I was working at, I only get a small percentage of it, and it only comes out in the form of the paycheck. So every 2 weeks, whatever service charge percentage I get is rounded up and given to me, which is not much. I was thinking I'm working way too hard to making way too little. Whereas my current job, I'm doing less physical work, but I'm making more money. There's pros and cons to everything. If you want to get those good restaurant jobs, this leads on to number two: you got to have experience. Okay, experience means everything to those who are hiring. Human resource management, they look for more experienced people that they don't really have to train too long. The good restaurants, they're in high demand, and they don't want to be spending a lot of time training somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. They want somebody who has experience. So the tip for you here is start small. Go to a restaurant that isn't that great, but build up experience, build up knowledge, learn the ins and outs of the restaurant business. That way you can actually move on to better restaurants. It's just like school, right? You're starting small, elementary, you're going up and up and up. Eventually, when you graduate, you can find the best job available. Number three, most of these videos saying you should really listen to these videos when you want to get big tips, right? But like I said in previous point, some restaurants, you don't really need those tips. You actually can get money just on service charge alone. I'm lucky for now, the law is changing or whatever. All I had to really do was just upsell. I didn't really need the tips because I'm getting cash at the end of the night, because I'm getting a percentage of the service charge, which is great. So the more you sell, the more money you can actually take home without ever having to need to really go hand and knee and trying to like get as much money out of the person by just like basically sucking up to them as hard as possible. Sometimes you don't really need to do that. Of course you want to have good customer service, because if you don't give a crap, they're just gonna fire you, suspend you or whatever, and you're not gonna be able to make money. So you always have to have good service, but you don't have to suck up super hard to try to get that tip. Number 4, this is all equipment wise, right? They say have clean uniform, aprons or whatever, but to me, you gotta have the right tools of the trade. It's wrapped up conveniently for me. Some people have to roll it up. I like to keep my own book. Now what I mean book is checkbook. Every restaurant has a different kind of checkbook. Mine is a nice big black checkbook. I know a restaurant that uses clothespins, which is kind of weird. We use a traditional checkbook, so you can hold your check and whatever. So I commandeered one to be my personal book. Okay, so this is with me at all times. This is what I use to write down everything. And so I put notes in here. I taped a little note here, and basically it's like when I first started, I wrote down every section that is in our restaurant and the table numbers. So whatever section you're assigned, if you're trying to figure out what table is what, it's right here, and I know. You can also put down various phrases. Me, I work at a restaurant that caters to all races, okay? I'm pretty sure all these videos online is all just US type restaurant. Mine's a US restaurant, but it caters to different languages, races, and things like that. I handle Japanese, Korean, Chinese, Taiwan, Filipino, American, African American, legit African, Russians, locals, a whole bunch of different Micronesians. There's so many different people and languages out there that you can't keep up with everything. You can't learn everything. So it's best to, whenever you can, if you pick up a word, write it down. For instance, if you're serving a Japanese customer and they're ordering a steak, of course you want to get the steak temperature, rare, medium rare, well done, whatever. And if they don't speak English, you gotta have to pick up a word. So the word is yakikata, Japanese, for steak temperature. You just say, when they order, oh, New York steak, and you be like, yakikata, and they're like, oh, medium or whatever, well done. They'll know, okay? Every Japanese customer that I've served who doesn't even speak English, when I say yakikata, they know what I'm talking about. And I write that down. What does it mean? How do I use it? This and that. So you're gonna need to pick up different languages and different terms to help you out when you're serving them. Also, I like to keep BevNaps in my book. It usually doesn't come out if you hold it properly. The reason I keep BevNaps is, in our restaurant, you have to place a BevNap down when you're introducing yourself for their drinks. And sometimes I like to keep extra if, let's say, a customer makes a mess, I have napkins to wipe it. If a customer needs me to crack their lobster, I have napkins to block the spray. So it's always good to have napkins on you. More tools of the trade. Pens. You're gonna need pens. And I would suggest that you have at least one pen per table in your section, because you never know that you're gonna get multiple people that want to cash out or pay or whatever, and they pay by card. Or you're gonna have a table that's gonna pay a whole lot of separate checks by card. So always have a lot of pens on you. That way no one's left behind. 3, a wine key. Now, most restaurants and bars have their own wine keys, but there will be times where their wine keys are already being used and you're gonna have to wait. So I suggest that you buy your own. And some people like the double hinged. This one I actually like better than most. I bought it at Kmart. It's got the double points or whatever from the wine bottle. It's got a bottle opener. It's got the wine cutter, the label cutter, the screw. So this is always good to have on hand, just in case you need to serve wine. Some restaurants don't have it, but if you do, if you sell seafood, especially lobsters, have your own cracker. Now this isn't mine, it's the restaurant's, but it's the good one. The ones that we have previously won't even close at the point here. It'll be like separate like that, and that's how much you can close it. And you can't crack lobsters if you can't close the point. So you can buy your own lobster cracker if you can, but always have it on hand, because lobsters are kind of a bee to crack sometimes. So that's it for tools. Another tip that I would suggest is multitask. Now what I mean is there's gonna be a time where you're gonna get sat so many different tables at once, and you can't panic. You gotta take it in stride. You're gonna be like, oh mother son of a gun, but you're gonna have to do it. Introduce yourself to each table as quickly as possible. Not right away, but like you just wanna say, hello, my name is such and such. Put down your BevNap. I'll give you some time to look at the menu, but I'll be taking care of you today, alright? So if you want, would you like some drinks or would you need more time? And I do that for each table. I don't just get the drinks and appetizers or whatever from one table, then punch it in. I go from that table and immediately go to the next table, see what I can get as much as I can, and then go back to the back of the house where you got your drinks and whatever. And I load up. I try to fill up my tray as much as possible with as much as I can carry safely, okay? And I distribute the drink. A good tip is the straws. Some people like to carry their straws on their apron. I don't. I actually, if you have the bendy straws, the bend at the top, I bend and pull apart the paper or plastic and leave the mouth part with the paper on it still, and put it in the cup already when I'm ready to serve it. One, it saves you time. You don't want to be going to each guest, putting the cups down, and then pulling out the straws, tossing it so unprofessionally down. If you need to cut time, this helps. It's already in the cup. You place it on the table. Boom, you're done. You don't have to worry about the straws. That's a good pro tip. Yes! Even when multitasking, I have a restaurant that serves bread for free. If I have multiple tables, I get everything set up. Then I go to each table. Boom. Multitask. Saves you time. Saves you effort. You're going down the list of what you need to do, your standard operating procedures: drink, condiment, bread, appetizer, entree, then bus. And tip number 5, I think is the most important, is to have good teamwork. Help each other out as best you can. In a restaurant, some people like to be selfish. They're in it for themselves. There's gonna be a time where you can't run your food. And if you're gonna be a dick and all your the rest of the waiters or servers know that you're a dick, they're not gonna run your food. And that's just gonna put more undue pressure on you to try to get everything out as quickly as possible, and food could be dying, it could be drying out. Nobody wants to run it because they think you're an asshole. So be a team player, okay? Help each other out whenever you can. Run food, bus tables, even if they're not your own. Run drink, bar drink. If a guest that's not in your section waves you down, help them if you can. If you got nothing else to do, help them. Take the order, hand it off to the other server. Hell, they'll probably be happy that you took it for them because they're slammed and things like that. So that's the number 1 golden rule I say to be the best server you can be, is to help each other out. If you help them, they will help you, and you guys will make your lives a whole lot better knowing that you got each other's back. That's the way I feel. Okay, that's my opinion. I've been working at this restaurant for 1 year. I've always been helping out as best I can, and they help me out the best they can. We're like one big tight family. This isn't the Wild West. You're not in it just for yourself. You're a team. And in less than an hour, we will declare in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night, and we will not vanish without a fight. We're gonna live on. We're gonna survive. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative. If you think I'm just a load of crap, you can leave a comment telling me so. But this is just based on experience and to help you become a better server. It's not always about the money. It's about the experience.